So we're fixing to head out for a 3-day, 4-night backpacking trip, and a couple people had asked about what gear I bring for Sally. Typically it doesn't vary from trip to trip, it's just more food. But everything else pretty much stays the same. Occasionally I'll bring her a toy, but usually, like just throwing sticks is suitable enough for her. She's not picky about that. So, anyway, so I'll just start off. So this is her fleece jacket. I always bring this even in the summertime just because it gets cool at night. It just depends on how cool it is. Like if it's in the 70s or something, then I'll bring it, but she'll probably be fine without it. But anyway, it's fleece lined. I think I got it from PetSmart. So I don't know how water resistant it is, but I mean it's done really well the times that we've used it, and it's kept her plenty warm at night. So, and then I stored her jacket in a Ziploc bag, just because she tends to get any kind of water source, and it just to make sure that her stuff stays dry. So this is her tie-out system, and typically I only use the stake like if we're camped out like on a bald or something, or if there's just no like tree super close to the campsite. But so I'll put this in the ground and then just use one of these carabiners and clip it, and then use the other end. Got it tied to her collar. But typically I just put one end around a tree, just like make a loop. Just tie it around a tree and make a loop. It works out really well. It's held up so far. So, and I like that it's a little bit lighter weight than like the steel cable ones. I got this one at Pet Supermarket. I think it's like 15 feet. So it's worked out. And I got the steak. It's the groundhog steak, MSR groundhog steak. It's worked out really well. One time she pulled and she actually broke this. So I'll probably be looking for like a replacement, something that would stand up more. But she typically don't pull, so she just got a little super excited. But it's funny because the steak stayed in the ground, but this thing broke. So anyway, so this is her harness and bag system. I think I got this at PetSmart. Man, it's done really well. I don't really have any complaints. So, because like, this is good to clip her light on. And I'll show you that in a minute. But, and so if we're night hiking or whatever, it's a good place to put her light. And then, attach her leash back there. And then these are just her 2 bags. I don't really use the outside pockets, but the zipper I think is like broke on both of them. So, quality wise, I'm not super impressed with these bags. But I mean, it's held up. Just know that the zippers aren't the best. I don't remember the name brand. Arcadia Trail. I mean, it still works. It's, because like I say, I only use the main pocket. Anyway, that's that. And then the only other things I put in her bag are the bear spray, and a little bit of water. I mean, typically she just drinks whatever, stream we come across or whatever. And then I just bring some of her dry kibble. And I keep her kibble and her food bowl, and I typically double bag it because her kibble is like super smelly and stinky, and I just don't want to take a chance on that attracting bears. So I double bag it, with her water bowl, and then I put all that down in this odor-proof, I think this is the OPSAC odor-proof bag. And that's worked out really well. We haven't had any problems with that. She typically sleeps in my vestibule in my tent, not inside my tent. And she does really well. She typically doesn't move during the night. She just lays there. So this is her mat. It's a cut down yoga mat. I don't really know how thick this is, but it's one of the thicker ones. And it was a pretty large yoga mat, and I just cut it down. I don't really know the size. I just kind of had her lay down on it and then just, you know, cut it to size so it didn't have like a lot of excess. Plus, it works out really good for me too, because it works good as just like a sit pad, like around camp, or kneeling, like when you're, you know, unloading your pack and blowing up your mattresses and all that stuff. So it's a good dual purpose gear item. But typically this mat goes in my backpack. And then she has her leash. So the leash I use is this Flexi. I think it's like a 16 foot or something. I don't know. It's one of the longer leashes. And I just loop this through my belt on my backpack. That way I can kind of be hands-free if I need to use trekking poles or whatever. And then this is her little light that attaches on there. And that's really cool because it's got like different, it's kind of hard to press, but you've got different colors, like it'll just cycle through, or you can keep tapping it. Well, yeah, so like you can cycle through different colors. You get green, blue, and white. Typically I just use the white one. Sometimes I use the blue one, you know, just because she's a blue healer. But yeah, so that is pretty much all of her gear. Like I say, the pad typically goes in my pack, and then everything else she typically carries. Well, on the leash, she don't carry the leash, but yeah, so looking forward to another good trip. Sally, ready to go backpacking? That's a good girl. So we'll see. Well, I'll show y'all my pack when I get it packed up. But yeah, right now it's kind of in disarray. But anyway, that's her gear, and hopefully you guys find that helpful. If you have any questions, just let me know.